Welcome everybody, arigato, to the Nomad kitchen. Today we are going to learn an interesting recipe that actually, I thought that it was my father's recipe. It's very funny because when I was younger, my father used to arrive to my home and then he used to start preparing this combination of eggs and rice and so on. And I grew up thinking that this was my father's recipe only because he was too lazy to cook. So it's like, hi dad. So I was thinking that he was just cooking out of laziness, and then he just wanted to combine all the things. But then after the time when I had the opportunity to travel, I learned that this is not my father's recipe. Sorry. I got very disappointed. All my dreams went to the floor. I thought my father was a genius chef. And turns out that this is a Japanese recipe and it's called Omurice. What's Omurice? Omurice is a very interesting tortilla. It's like the Japanese version of what is so-called Spanish tortilla. That, by the way, is not Spanish, but we are going to explore that in another episode. I know it's a lot of polemic and so on. But today we are going to use some ingredients that are well known. First of all, eggs that, as you know, were from the 900 before Christ in Egypt. Then basil from the beautiful country of India. Then rice that is already on the making from Asia. And of course some salt that, as you know, can be found everywhere in the world. The first thing that we need to do is to scramble or to crush the eggs, to open them, to put them in a bowl and start mixing them until they really melt. We do it for a time, like if we were doing a normal tortilla, right? Like when we are doing omelette or tortilla, whatever you call it, you normally just mix the yolks with the white of the eggs. So this, we just add some salt to that. And then we add some basil. The basil is previously cut. I love the basil as you saw in the recipe that we were using for the pesto. Basil really gives a nice aroma and flavor to everything you cook. And I think that for this thing is so interesting that they just mix so well with the rice and with all the things that it comes. Lastly, if you want to give some texture to the omurice, you can add a little bit of olive oil. In my case, I'm going to add the one that I already have in this cup. And you just mix all the ingredients again with a little bit more of salt. Delicious. And we wait for the rice to be ready, then we mix all the ingredients at once. So after we have everything mixed, we have here the eggs, the basil, and the salt. We put the rice, white rice, right inside our formula. So it's very paradoxic because this is a basically Asian, Egyptian recipe. But most of white people eat this thing. Sounds familiar, right? Literally, it's similar to a Spanish tortilla, to what's so-called the Spanish tortilla. I know you have the curiosity to know why Spanish tortilla is not Spanish anymore, but I will tell you in season 2. So we have our mix ready. It looks more or less like a juice, as you see, or if somebody was drunk. And then we are going to just put it on the pan. Wait for it. We're going to use the pan, this pan. By the way, pan in Spanish means bread. This is very funny. Because once I was forgetting all the Spanish words and so on. And I remember how all the English words when I was trying to speak in English. And I used to associate, right? That's what you call fake friends or faux amis in French. That is words that are similar but are not the same. So I was trying to tell my mom that I needed a sartén. A sartén is a pan in Spanish, but what I needed was a bread. And a bread is a bread that is pan in Spanish. So it was a whole mess up. After we have that thing, we remember we have the salt, we have the rice, we have the basil, we have the eggs, and we have some olive oil. What we do is we put this thing here. You can either decide to put it without the oil, or you can put some extra oil in the pan just to make sure that it doesn't stick. However, like nowadays, like most of pans are like non-sticky. And then after you have that, you just add this, you cook it. So basically now, like it's already cooked, we flip the whole preparation and we just put it on the plate. For this thing, like you can do it in different ways. You can either, for example, put the tortilla directly straight to the pan, to the plate, or you can cover the pan like normally I do, and you can just flip it, and then you have the preparation here. So the whole point of have it is because the first part of the omurice, normally, when you are putting any tortilla, the first part normally in the layer that goes down gets a bit more like goldish or like burnt. That's why what you have to do is to flip it so that you get all the colors that you need to get in the whole preparation. If you like this recipe, subscribe, share, and interact with this channel, and also like share with your friends. Let me know what do you think about the recipes that are here. What else would you like to see or to watch? And how would you make this? Like, is this part of a tradition? Is this part of like your father's thing? Was this a failure? Like when Santa Claus, you find out that it doesn't exist and you thought all your life that it was existing. It's real traumatizing how this thing, I thought that was my dad's recipe, but now it's not. But however, I'm very happy to share this with you. Guys, thank you so much for coming to the Nomad Kitchen and see you in the next episode.